If you've been stuck at the same agent count for more than a year, it's not bad luck, it's one of 6 bottlenecks. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those 6 bottlenecks are, how to figure out which one is holding you back, and what to do about each one. By the end, you'll know exactly why you're stuck and exactly what needs to change to finally scale to 50 producing agents in the next 12 months. This applies whether you're running a traditional brokerage, local boutique, franchise, flat fee, 100% commission, or team-based model. Now, this isn't theory. We've just helped Cynthia recruit her first 2 producers within days of launching. Amanda onboarded 2 agents and has 6 more meetings booked in the next 72 hours. Marcus has been live for a few days and already has 3 agents with the production history he's been looking for. Anthony booked over 10 appointments within 7 days, and Rhonda recruited an agent last week. These are real brokers breaking through their bottlenecks. Stick around because one of these 6 is the reason you're stuck too. My name is Arianna, and I'm part of the media team here at agentattraction.io. Over the past 7 years, we've worked with over 2,900 brokers, team leaders, and agents, including the president of a publicly traded brokerage you'd recognize. We hold close to 100 reviews on Trustpilot and have dozens of case studies from brokers we've helped scale. So let's get into the 6 bottlenecks. Here's how to use this video. As I go through each bottleneck, ask yourself, is this me? Most brokers have 1 or 2 of these holding them back. And once you identify yours, everything else becomes clear. Let's start. The first bottleneck is that you don't know your numbers. This is the most common one. Let me ask you a question. How much does it cost you to acquire a new producing agent? Not a guess, the actual number. If you can't answer that within 5 seconds, this is your bottleneck. Here's why it matters. If you don't know your cost to acquire an agent, you can't scale with confidence, you're just guessing. You're afraid to spend money on recruiting because you don't know if it's actually working. Let me show you how we think about this internally. We know exactly how much it costs us to acquire a new brokerage client. We know if we spend X amount on ads, about 100 brokers will come in. 20% will schedule a call, 70% of those will show up, 15% will close. We know the math to the penny, and because we know that, we can scale with confidence. If it costs us $5,000 to acquire a client who pays us $50,000 over 3 years, we'll make that trade all day long. You need to know the same math for your brokerage. Add up your marketing spend, add up recruiter salaries or commissions, add up any labor costs involved in onboarding, divide by the number of agents you've recruited, that's your cost per agent. Then calculate how much one agent is worth to you over 1 year or 3 years. If you're spending $1,500 to get an agent who brings you $10,000 a year, that's a great return. And now you can confidently spend more. For reference, our brokerage partners average $500 to $1,500 to acquire a new producing agent through this system. We know that because we trap applications like these. We're generating these for about $150 to $175 per applications. If partners close 1 out of 5, they're paying $500 to $1,500 per agent. That's the power of knowing your numbers. So if you don't know your cost to acquire an agent, that's bottleneck number 1. Fix that first. The second bottleneck is you're not doing more of what's already working. This sounds obvious, but most brokers miss it. Something in your brokerage is producing results right now. Maybe it's an in-house recruiter, maybe it's Indeed ads, maybe it's referrals from your current agents, maybe it's you personally networking. Whatever it is, something is working at least a little. The question is, why aren't you doing more of it? Here's a real example. Say you're spending $1,500 a month on Indeed ads. After sifting through the part-timers and new licensees, you find 1 producing agent every quarter. That's not great, but it's something. So why not double it? If $1,500 gets you 1 agent per quarter, $3,000 might get you 2. That's your highest confidence path to growth. You already know it works, you're just not scaling it. Now, the reason most brokers don't do more is because they don't have the numbers from bottleneck 1. They're afraid to spend more because they're not sure if it's actually working. That's why knowing your metrics comes first. Once you know your numbers, scaling what works becomes obvious. Third bottleneck is your market is too small. This one is simple math. If there are only 5,000 people in your area and only a fraction of those are licensed agents and only a fraction of those are producing, there's a ceiling on how many you can recruit. You can have the best system in the world, but if there aren't enough agents in your market, you can't scale there. Here's the truth. You actually want competition. You want a saturated market because saturation means there are agents to recruit. A small, quiet market with no competition usually means there's no opportunity. If your market is genuinely too small, you have 2 options. 1, expand to nearby markets. Recruit to a wider radius. 2, Go virtual. Recruit agents in other states where your brokerage can operate. Don't let geography be the ceiling on your growth. Fourth bottleneck is your economics are broken. This is uncomfortable, but I have to say it. Some brokerages simply don't make enough money per agent to justify recruiting. If your splits are too generous, or your fees are too low, or your overhead is too high, you might be recruiting agents and barely breaking even. Here's how to know if this is you. Calculate how much profit you actually keep from one average agent over a year. Not revenue, profit. After splits, after fees, after overhead, if that number is tiny or negative, you don't have a recruiting problem, you have a business model problem. No amount of recruiting will fix that. You might need to raise your fees, you might need to adjust your splits, you might need to cut overhead, you might need to renegotiate your franchise agreement. Whatever it is, fix the economics first, because if you can't make money from agents, why would you recruit more of them? The fifth bottleneck is related but different. You're not charging enough. This isn't about your brokerage model being broken. This is about you underpricing yourself. A lot of brokers are afraid to charge what they're worth. They think lower fees will attract more agents. But here's what actually happens. Lower fees attract price-sensitive agents. Price-sensitive agents are usually low producers. Low producers don't stay long, and you end up in the race to the bottom. Meanwhile, producing agents, the ones doing 15, 20, 30 deals a year, they don't care about saving $200 a month. They care about value. They care about, will this brokerage help me close more deals? If you're providing real value, training, leads, system, support, you should be charging for it. You might need to double your fees. Yes, some agents will leave, but the ones who stay will be better, and you'll finally have margin to invest in growth. The sixth bottleneck is that you don't have the manpower. This one is actually a good problem to have. It means that everything else is working. You know your numbers, you have something that's working, your market is big enough, your economics make sense, but you're maxed out on capacity. You can't personally recruit any more agents. Your recruiter is at capacity. Your systems can't handle more volume. If this is you, the answer is simple. Hire another recruiter. Outsource your recruiting system. Bring in help. If you're getting a positive return on recruiting, adding manpower is just adding fuel. This is the bottleneck you want to have because it means you've solved everything else. So let's recap. Bottleneck 1, you don't know your numbers. Bottleneck 2, you're not scaling what's already working. Bottleneck 3, your market is too small. Bottleneck 4, your economics are broken. Bottleneck 5, you're not charging enough. Bottleneck 6, you don't have the manpower. One or two of these is why you're stuck. Which one is it for you? Here's what I want you to do. If you identified your bottleneck and you want help solving it, click the link below this video and schedule a call with our team. We've spent 7 years and millions of dollars figuring out how to help brokers scale. On the call, we'll diagnose exactly what's holding you back. We'll show you case studies of brokers in similar situations, and if it makes sense, we'll show you how our system can help. At worst, you'll walk away with a clear action plan. At best, you'll finally break through the ceiling that's been holding you back. Click the link below and book a call. See you on the other side.